Welcome to World Knowledge Channel. Ladies and gentlemen, special signs that men show when they miss their lover to the point of being unable to control their emotions. When in love, even the strongest and coldest men sometimes reveal their weakness through incomprehensible actions. Although they try to hide it, there are strange manifestations that if you are observant, you will immediately recognize. Let's explore 7 signs that he is missing you like crazy. 1. He will call. If a guy calls you instead of texting, it means he misses your voice. 3. Twee and Min have been in love for almost a year. But because both of them are busy with work, they cannot meet each other as often as before. Recently, Twee noticed that Min no longer texts her as much as before. But instead, he often calls. At first, Twee was a bit surprised because Min is not the type to call often. He usually prefers to text quickly. 2. He admits he misses you. If he admits he misses you, you can be sure it's true. Men are not usually very expressive about their feelings. So if a guy says these words, he probably misses you more than you realize. Not only is this a way for him to express his love, but it's also a sign that you're important and on his mind. 3. He texts even when nothing's going on. It can be a little annoying to get a text message that just asks, "How are you?" However, it's a phrase that men often use when they don't have anything important to say. If he texts you this, it could mean that there's nothing special he wants to tell you. He just wants to talk because he's missing you like crazy. 3. He tries to make plans with you. Most guys won't be upset about missing a girl. Instead, they'll take action. If he tries to make plans with you or even suggests that he would like someone to go to the movies with, it means he wants to spend time with you. Try to make plans and follow through because he is looking forward to having you around. Most guys don't get upset about missing a girl. They take action instead. Emily and Jake have been together for a few months, and their relationship is going well. Jake, a thoughtful guy who always wants to make Emily feel special, is constantly thinking about ways to spend time with her. One evening, while they were talking on the phone, Jake said, "You know, there's a new movie coming out next week that I think you'll like. Let's go see it together." Emily was delighted to hear this invitation. Jake wasn't just asking her out to the movies. He took the time to find out what she liked and picked a movie that she would enjoy. She immediately realized that he was making an effort to plan a fun and meaningful evening. Over the next few days, Jake kept coming up with other ideas for future dates. He suggested going for a walk in the park, taking a cooking class, or even trying new dishes at a local restaurant together. Each of his plans showed his interest and desire to spend more time with Emily. As the day of the movie approached, Jake was very prepared. He not only bought the tickets but also booked a table for dinner at Emily's favorite restaurant. They had a wonderful evening together, laughing and sharing interesting stories. Emily felt loved and appreciated, something she had never felt in her previous relationships. Emily and Jake's story shows that when a guy makes an effort to plan time for the person he likes, it not only shows that he cares but also shows his sincere feelings. For Emily, Jake's thoughtfulness and sincerity not only made her happy but also strengthened the relationship between the two. 4. He comments on your status. With all the modern technology around us, it's hard to get the thought of someone out of your mind. This means that whenever you log on to Facebook, you will see his trace and remind you of him. So if he always comments on your photos or likes everything you post on social media, it's a silent way of saying he misses you. If you've made it this far, leave a comment. "I'm ready. I want to be rich." That's how you motivate us to make more meaningful videos. If you haven't liked the video yet, give it a like. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel to support us. We'll give you a heart. Thank you very much. 5. He's jealous. When he asks about your plans for the evening and you say you're going out with friends. See what he says. He may not say he's jealous, but you can tell by his reaction. If he looks annoyed when you're with someone else, it means he wants to be with you. 6. He's happy to see you. It doesn't matter if you planned to meet or accidentally met somewhere. What matters is that when you meet, observe his reaction. If he looks extremely happy to see you, it means he misses you. If a guy calls you instead of texting, it means he misses your voice. Super Typhoon Yagi moves very fast. The eye of the storm is more visible. When a man is truly in love, seeing the woman he loves always brings obvious happiness. Whether it's a chance meeting or a planned meeting, if he's beaming and happy, it's a clear sign of missing you. A guy in love will find ways to be closer, such as calling just to hear your voice. True feelings are often expressed through such small but meaningful actions. And that's how he shows you that you're always on his mind. Although they may not say it, these small actions reflect the inner feelings that they have difficulty controlling. If you see these signs in your man, know that he misses and appreciates you very much. Understanding these expressions will help both of you get closer and love each other more in your relationship. Here are 9 signs that you have made the right choice in choosing a husband. What is it? Let's find out together. Deciding to choose a husband is one of the most important choices in life. And to know that you have made the right choice, there are clear signs that you can recognize. From the way he cares, respects you to accompanying you through every challenge. Below are 9 sure signs that will help you rest assured that you have chosen the right person. That is, he is always proud of you. If you have just been promoted at work, won an award in a competition, immediately your husband will not be able to resist bragging to everyone around about his wife. That action proves that he is your biggest fan. Constantly bragging, always proud of his wife is one of the signs that your husband is satisfied with his current marriage. All your joys, sorrows, successes, and failures are also the same emotional flavors that your husband has experienced. Having a husband like that, you will certainly never regret your decision to choose him. 2. After many years of living together, your husband still shows generosity towards you. These are small actions but show a spirit of generosity and gallantry, such as opening the door for you, pulling out a chair for you to sit, always walking outside when the two of you are walking on the street, ready to carry you home when your feet are hurt after a long day of walking in high heels. When in love, every guy shows chivalry to his girlfriend. But when married, only real men can maintain that behavior towards their wives. If your husband is such a person, you should be lucky to have married a real man. There are married men who still know how to show their chivalrous spirit to women. But the woman he treats gallantly is not his wife. On the contrary, a husband who knows how to treat his wife politely, yielding to her, and protecting her shows that his nature has not changed after marriage. He deserves to be a good, perfect husband. 3. Your husband always cares about your friends. If your best friend is having trouble, your husband suggests that you spend time with her or is willing to sacrifice family time together so that his wife can help you overcome the difficulties. Or sometimes the husband is the one who invites her to dinner with the family to forget the sadness he is going through. When you don't see a friend of your wife come over for a long time, your husband is the one who speaks up. When will you invite her to bring her child to your house to play for fun? Caring about your wife's friends is also a sign of a good husband. Only a lucky woman can choose a husband like that. 4. You can freely vent your anger on your husband. We can see, choosing a good husband is not easy. There are times when work is tiring, disappointment in life. You can comfortably complain, vent all your frustrations on your husband. Instead of feeling upset, Your husband shows sympathy, ready to be a bullet shield to help his wife relieve her stress. All the actions your husband does are with the purpose of hoping that his wife will quickly be happier and more comfortable. If your husband is like that, rest assured because you have chosen the right person. 5. Your husband doesn't try to change you. More than anyone else, your husband is the one who understands you best. An older woman who is still spoiled and childish. A wife who is not good at cooking. A mother who speaks a bit harshly but is never malicious. Your husband knows all your bad habits, and sometimes even gets angry at you for them. But you never see your husband forcing you to live differently, to change a lot. Your husband accepts your true self with both the good and the bad. What he does every day is to forgive his wife, to give her advice so that she can live better. He understands his wife's bad habits and imperfections, but he is still by her side, respects her differences and supports her gently. That is one of the signs that you have chosen the right ideal husband for your life. 6. You feel absent when you are away from your husband. The phrase, "I miss you," is not just a sweet saying that you often say to your husband. It is a reality. You feel absent every time your husband is away from home. As we all know, in your heart at that time, there is not only longing but also a feeling of emptiness. That is enough to know how important your husband's presence is to your life. Your feelings for your husband are no longer just love but more noble. It is the need for a true half. Van and Khan have been married for several years. But every time Khan goes on a business trip away from home, Van always feels absent and empty. This time is no exception. Khan has only been on a business trip for 2 days, but Van has begun to feel the emptiness in the house. Not just because of the small habits like the sound of his footsteps when he comes home, or the way he sits next to her watching TV, but it is the indispensable presence of your partner. 7. You can cry in front of your husband without feeling embarrassed. The most perfect husband is the one who knows exactly when your tears are a manifestation of a state of anxiety chaos. When they are tears of emotion because of a tragic scene in a movie. And no matter what the reason for the tears, you can cry well in front of your husband. Without hesitation, without shame. That is exactly the husband you have chosen. Sophie has always been a strong woman, but she is not someone who does not cry. One day, after a long day of stressful work, Sophie came home and sat down to watch her favorite movie. The scene was so emotional that she couldn't stop crying. When her husband, Jake, walked in, he saw her sitting on the sofa, her eyes red, tears rolling down her cheeks. Instead of feeling embarrassed or wiping her tears away, Sophie decided to let her emotions flow. Jake immediately realized that these were not just tears. He sat down next to her, hugged her tightly and asked, "Are you okay?" Sophie felt comforted knowing that her husband understood and did not judge. Jake listened to her share her feelings. Not only the sadness from the movie but also the pressures she faced at work and in life. Not only did he comfort her, he also gave her sincere words of encouragement, reminding her that crying is completely normal and nothing to be ashamed of. Sophie feels so lucky to have a husband like Jake. He is not only an ideal husband but also a confidant who is always willing to share her weak moments. Over time, Sophie realizes that showing emotions in front of her husband is not something to be ashamed of, but is part of the love and connection between two people. Sophie and Jake's story shows that in love, crying in front of each other is not just a sign of weakness, but also a sign of trust and intimacy, something every couple should cherish. 8. You are free to go out, even when your husband is not with you. While your girlfriends of the same age complain that they have not had time to meet friends since getting married, and some complain that their husbands do not let them go anywhere alone, you almost sit silently. Not knowing what more evidence to give to accuse your controlling husband. Simply because your husband is a very easygoing person. After getting married, you can still go out freely even when your husband is not with you. You should be happy to have a husband who truly trusts you, knows how to think for you, and always values personal freedom in family life. 9. That is, your husband is always close to your family. Not only does he treat his wife's parents and siblings well, but he also always considers his wife's relatives and family members as his close ones. There is never any discrimination between in-laws and in-laws in his thoughts and actions. In your relationships, your husband is both friendly and approachable, and acts with a high sense of responsibility. When a husband is always close and treats his wife's family as his own, it shows his love and respect for his wife. He does not distinguish between in-laws and in-laws, but shows friendliness and responsibility to all of your relatives. This is a sign of an ideal husband, who cherishes not only you but also the important relationships in your life. These signs are not only proof that you have chosen the right person, but also a solid foundation for a long-lasting and happy relationship. When your husband shows respect, love, and is willing to accompany you through all challenges, those are precious values in married life. Cherish and nurture this relationship, because you have a wonderful partner to build a future with. If you find the video useful, please share it with others. Subscribe to the channel, like it, and if you have any questions, please leave a comment below. Thank you for watching. Goodbye and see you in the next video.